Alright, hello everyone, welcome in. We're gonna be playing some Marlin today, but we have, I guess, a brand new toy. I don't know if you all saw the Marlin or the red lure harpoon situation is crazy. But we're actually gonna play with it today, which is very exciting. I think the Tal Shark devs literally coded it last night, which is pretty sweet. So exciting new card to look forward to. I actually want to tweak the deck list a little bit before we get started here. Actually, let me see if this is what I had. Okay, actually, I think this is correct. We're going to be trying some funky stuff today. I'm mostly trying to prep for Nat, so a lot of this is going to be like theoretical kind of thinking for what I think the meta is going to be end up being like. Like these throw cautions are more so like a meta choice than anything. But I think like this starting kind of base is at least pretty good, and we're also going to get a chance to, I guess, test out like the tip the barkeep red lure harpoon situation. Oh, is the volume too low? Let me see if I can bump it up a little bit. Give me 1 second. Girl, testing. 1, 2, 3. I might have also not been talking into the mic. Let me know if everyone can hear me okay, because it looks fine on my end. I can also bump it a little. Let me bump it just a tad. Let me actually do it. Okay, I think all these are copied. Cool. Hopefully it's a little bit better. But let me know if I can bump it a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and play some Marlin. Again, a lot of this is kind of just theorizing for Nats, but Nats is the big event coming up, so I kind of want to try to do at least pretty well. But yeah, this is the first time I'm actually going to be playing with the red lure harpoon, so I'm kind of excited to at least give it a try. That's better? Okay, cool. Thank you. If it starts clipping, though, like, let me know, because then I might turn it down just, like, a little bit, actually. Oh, okay, we got Betsy. Very exciting. Betsy. So I think we're just bringing in the full fatigue package. Meeting on the battalion bark is actually, like, kind of hilarious. I'm actually considering bringing, like, am I bringing in the full 68? Is that wrong? That's probably wrong. But it is kind of funny. The funny play or the correct play? I feel like the correct play is maybe, like, 2 harpoons. Like, the throw cautions are also, like, kind of questionable. Maybe we do something a little bit like this. Though I do want the extra blues if we're bringing the take games. Maybe something like, let's try out something kind of, like, traditional, I guess, and see how this goes. Hey, Root, how's it going? We are doing some new harpoon testing. Okay, it looks like they're not playing, like, a fatigue Betsy, which is pretty interesting. But our opening hand is pretty good here. The only downside is, I guess, the pile driver is, like, a little bit annoying. Oh, seems okay, though. Betsy hype. True. They are going to get the starting gold, which is, like, a little bit annoying, but we should hopefully be able to steal that back. I think since we have, like, 2 buffs in our hand, I think I am going to actually just dig 1 card deeper with the Hunting Hood there. Like, there are a lot of situations where I won't actually pop Hunting Hood if I have the 3-oak, but I feel like this is probably one of them. Ooh, and we found it in the opener, but we don't have anything to banish yet. Okay, so I think we're hoping to find something a little bit better, but, like, that's at least a good fallback, if anything. I'm hoping to not have to send this harpoon. Like, maybe we can try to second cycle it. But Yellowfin seems acceptable here. And the question is, do I want to hook? Probably not, since I don't want to risk discarding the 3-oak here. I think this seems fine, though. Pile driver is pretty spooky. I know, we're going to be playing against a lot of Betsy's tonight, because I imagine that most of the people in open queue are playing either Betsy or, like, one of the new heroes. What I might do for, like, the latter half of the stream is, like, instead of playing in the like future CCQ, I might end up just like playing like the other kind of variant of the deck without the new cards. We'll kind of see. Depends what I'm in the mood for, and if we get like multiple Betsy's in a row, I'm like less excited about playing that. But it's still like a good baseline for like fatigue value swap, if that makes sense. It's kind of like playing against Tough Nut, I guess. They did not want to sink. Maybe. Oh, Puffin too. That's true. That is a fair point. Okay, giving them a second gold feels a little bad here, but not the end of the world. We at least got some armor out of them. We have another 3 oaks. I can't feel too bad, right? I'm like halfway tempted to just try to block out this pile driver here. So it would also give us a bigger token and a might, which is like pretty relevant. The one downside would be that we're opening ourselves up to getting like CNC'd on a future turn. But I think it's like kind of worth it. We're getting, basically, by blocking here, we're getting 2 gold, and then we're also getting a might and a vigor, which is like pretty huge. So I think I kind of actually don't mind this. Oh, actually, we're not getting 2 gold, sorry. For some reason, I thought we had a yellow already, which I forgot. So let's kind of just turn over honing. But I feel like this block like still makes sense even if we don't have a yellow. Because I do want that vigor token's a little bit juicy. Oh, wait, does the vigor token actually like hurt us here? It kind of does, right? Because we actually want to like play out the shifting, then pitch the eye. Now pitching the eye is a little bit more awkward. I think it's still like fine to do. It just means like we can't play out shifting this turn. Maybe that was wrong. Huh, interesting. I think I'm just gonna leave those both on top just so we guaranteed get a nice king shark here. That's a little bit of a weird play though. This is coming for 11, which is pretty good. I guess we can like Arsenal the port side. Okay, this isn't like that bad. But it's like a little awkward. Like I kind of like wanted to pitch the eye to 3 oak as weird as that is. I still think that was like kind of the correct play because we do get the gold out of it. It feels a little more suspect. Okay, so they can notably tear asunder their log, which is kind of spooky. I think I want them to bet big, right? Like, I don't want them to tear asunder me. So I think what that means is we take the macho. I think that seems reasonable. Like, I actively think I want them to hit me with a bet big here. Surprisingly interesting gameplay for Betsy, I would say. All right, Chapeau. Oh, plus bet big. We do technically. Oh, we don't have the red lure harpoon in graveyard, right? Pitched it. I was like thinking like, oh, we could actually just play out the new card with our codex if we wanted to, but I don't think that's actually it. So they're gonna make two. They're gonna make a gold and then 2 mites and 2 vigor tokens, which is like pretty good. Too bad. Hopefully we can mutiny actually and just like steal their gold back. I think that's kind of gonna be the line I'm gonna go for here. Like I think what our plan is to do is to port side and then like crack all of our gold down so that we can mutiny it back. It's gonna be pretty exciting. Still a big fan of mutiny into Victor mostly, but I guess it has some nice overlap into Betsy. Okay, so let's start with the port side. Then again, our plan is to try to use our like 5-int tunic thing to kind of get rid of all of our gold so we can just steal their gold back. Okay, 3 oak is good. Let's go ahead and try to make the shifting tides a better card. The only actually, I don't know if shifting is actually good. Or sorry, I don't know if the 3 oak's actually good because the issue with the 3 oak here is that it does make our codex a little bit worse. But I guess we can just like not play codex this turn. Let's go ahead and crack tunic one more time here. Because I feel like most paths involve us mutiny plus maybe even playing the red fin here. So we'll skip on that for now. Mutiny, steal our gold back, and then also get us our free hook. I feel like mutiny stealing gold is also kind of underrated, right? Because you can't actually ripple it, which is pretty cool. All right, hoping for like a king shark here. Also have a shallow water, which I don't think is super great. Go ahead and just set the bluefin because it's probably the most disruptive. Or is it the most disruptive? It still prevents stuff like Terra Center, which is like what I think we really care about. Oh, also, I should be on base of the mountain into this probably still. I guess base doesn't really help against overpower, but they probably still have like some amount of dominate. All right, let's go ahead and just do this instead, I think. I think we're just going to try to sit on the codex here, and then we do get our free hook, which is great. Oh, we might end up shuffling here. I'm kind of actually curious what we have back. Well, they're not like a fatigue Betsy, so I don't really have to worry about that. Hey, Rose, how's it going? I just want to play with the new card. I'm excited to hit some people with the Red Lure Harpoon. We do notably have 3 in the deck, so like we should at least get 1 activation of this tonight, I'm hoping. Like the odds are pretty high with 3 in deck that we get to be able to play it once, right? Good substitute for Mog Monday. True. Alright, let's take a peek at what their hand is here. I think still sending the Bluefin Harpoon maybe makes sense. Oh, they did have the Ripple away. That's kind of funny. I mean, they could have technically rippled if they wanted to. So I guess I'm taking the Cranial here just in case they find some random way to play it. Well, I don't think it matters too much. I guess it kind of, so wait, oh, I guess they're gonna just like log me. Oh. Maybe they want to like IP with the Ripple or something. Weird. Okay, well I imagine we're probably just getting logged again this turn. Logged and mogged. But how is everyone doing today? Y'all enjoying your Marlynn Monday? Okay, they are actually going to pitch the Ripple here. That's like kind of makes sense. Their last card in hand is Headbutt. I don't think we really mind. Unfortunately, no real way to block this, but we can at least cash in a little bit of value here. Pile Driver is a pretty good weapon. It's like 2 card 7 overpower. It's kind of like sending like a what do you call it, like a Goldfin Harpoon, right? Doing sleepy. Me too, Root. I'm tired. I actually got some pretty good rest this weekend, so I feel a lot better. Alright, let's go for a nice clean catch of the day here. I'm actually like halfway tempted to just try to look for like halfway tempted to just grab like a Bluefin Harpoon here, because that would just like deny them from playing anything out, but I think it's probably just as safe to do just a King Shark here. Seems reasonable enough, and the Frailty token on the Pile Driver is still pretty decent value. We get back a bet big, but I don't think we bet all that much, so can they block this? They have 2... I guess they could staunch us. We've technically not seen a staunch. But I am a little bit tempted to try to steal that gold back. Are we a staunch gamer? We're at least sync below gaming, so I feel like that's probably still incorrect. Yeah, I feel like everyone's tired right now. Lots of things going on in the world and in the Fab community, I guess, as well. I'm also having to do some work while I'm streaming. Hey, Ben, how's it going? Are you excited to hit some people with some Red Lure Harpoons? I know I am. Alright, so we got the Betsy down to 17. We have full tempo. They cannot log us next turn, which is pretty big. So we just get a nice, clean, big game trophy shot here. So I think we're going to start cracking gold like crazy here. Does Betsy run Test of Strength? I feel like I've not seen a Betsy run Test of Strength, but I've also not seen a Betsy in a while. I feel like it's something that they could potentially run. So I'm like mildly concerned. I don't even think we actually need to really crack gold super aggressively here. I think what I kind of like more incentivized to do is just like do this, and then we can kind of play around the Test of Iron Grip, even if they have it. You already did it to a Ziggy into a duality for 7. They run block cards, okay. Good info. I've not been up to date with the latest Betsy developments. Which I guess there's only been really one huge Betsy development, right? Which is the pile driver. Red Lure is such a fun card. Can't wait until I have time to play with it after my vacation. I think it's gonna end up being really cool. I know some people are kind of down on the card. Like, it makes sense because it's not like necessarily doing the same thing in Marlynn's game plan as like the other harpoons are. Like, it doesn't mesh very well with like Go Fish. It's not like immediately disruptive, but I think that it's like a really cool like setup payoff card, which I feel like the deck was kind of missing, and it's also just like gives you a lot more game, I think, into like the assassins especially. I think it's gonna end up being really good. I think people are gonna like come around on the card. We are sitting on a nice stack of gold here, which always feels good. So are they going to hit us with the log once more? I guess they have to bet big. Okay, double down, wager into the bet big, sure. So pretty good. They also do get the overpower on it from the double down, which is pretty sweet. It's not really like disruptive, so we're kind of okay. It kind of just feels like Betsy is now like a slightly different variation of Tough Nut, if that makes sense. That's kind of what it feels like to me. All right, I think I'm gonna now try to start cracking some gold to hopefully get a little bit more juice here, because I do want to like try to kill them before they can like overpower something big at us. So let's try to maybe end up sending this Murderous Rabble here. Or we can also just gold a tip. I think that works. I'd like to maybe sit on 2 gold here just because it's like a little safe. Could crack a little bit more, but I feel like there's kind of diminishing returns. How many reds do we still have left in our deck? Still have like King Sharks, which are kind of bricks. Got rid of the Battering Bolts. There's some yellows that are bricks. I don't know. I feel like there's kind of diminishing returns from trying to go a little bit deeper with this hand. I think I kind of like sitting at just 13 with the Ataya on it. Should be pretty annoying, especially if they have reacts here. No Tunic up also. We could throw the hook on this. I mean, we're going to get, like, not too many more hook activations over the course of the game. So I think this is fine. And we're not playing against, like, Fatigue Betsy, which I would be, like, a little concerned about. I'll try this. Looks like they're throwing the fridge in front of it, and then maybe giving us 2 cards from hand. Okay. Oh, 3 cards from hand. Okay. So is this the Test of Iron Grips or something? I did hook because of Taya. I got you, Ben. I think that was a pretty safe hook. I mean, like, we're not getting many more hook activations, so even if we like lose the hook here, I'm like not that upset, right? Like, the hook is maybe getting like 1 to 2 more uses. Okay, they had a ripple. Well, I guess the ripple doesn't even stop this, right? Because we get to steal the gold. So this is actually like extra good here. Pretty sick. Let's steal that gold, keep our hook around, and then we also just get to time walk them, which is really nice. I guess they could like crack their gold to do nothing, basically. I don't think there's like any card they can draw that would actually let them like swing the pile driver, right? They tried. They definitely made an attempt. I guess they can like keep an arsenal here, but like that's still kind of okay. Yep, we got it. Nice. All right, so the CNC, which is actually probably like one of the better targets we could hit off of the Red Lure Harpoon. I wish you could hit D-Reacts. That would be like so. That would probably be like too good, but that would be like super trolls like play your opponent's D-Reacts against them. That would be kind of hilarious. But strong first showing against Betsy again. It's Betsy, so I don't think the pile driver it did some work that game, for sure, but I feel like it's still like pretty us favored. Let's go ahead and make another one. Yeah, do something at work real quick, so bear with me. And... All right, so we got a Vinny. Oh, I gotta change my. Oh, it's not like. There we go. All right, we got a Vynnset. So we want our trench, our quiver. One's going first. Still like Huntington to Vynnset. And then I don't love running through a caution to Vynnset, but I guess it's like kind of fine. This is one of the matchups where the Red Lure Harpoon is a bit better. I also consider the take games. I feel like one take game, one throw caution. I'm still very hesitant on these two. These might end up getting cut at some point, but I'm gonna try the take games, I guess. We won our first one, Kai, so we're doing pretty okay. We beat the Betsy player with their brand new tech. Okay, looks like decent start from... Ooh, very good start from our Vynnset opponent here. No banish setup, which is nice for us, though. Yeah, we do get to accept this red pin, which is pretty nice. So overall, can't complain. Now, the question here is, what do I prioritize between the Tip the Barkeep and the Shifting Tides? So I feel like in past versions of the deck, I would probably try to prioritize playing the Shifting Tides here. And I think I'm still probably prioritizing it, but it makes the Tip the Barkeep like a little bit more tempting here. I feel like it's still better to play Shifting Tides. Like, I feel like Tip the Barkeep is something you want to be like playing out when you have like the space to do it. Not necessarily like kind of like sacking your game plan to like do it necessarily. But let's go for the red fin here. Imagine we might get some armor thrown in front of this, and then we get to Arsenal the Codex, which is really nice. Yeah, that's a good point, Ben, that we're never really keeping a 5-card hand into Vinny, so like the Barkeep makes a lot less sense. Okay, let's take a peek at their hand. So they have Red Deathly, which is probably going to be the hit here, as well as Mauve Skies and the Deathly Wheel. So they're going to get a Deathly regardless here. But I think it makes a fair... Well, actually... So if we take the Mauve, it does mean that they cannot do, like, go again into Hook, and then they'd have to, like, IP with one of these, which is, like, a little weird. Yeah, I think we're actually taking the... Now that I think about it more, I think we're actually taking the Mauve, right? Because we don't, like... We just want to leave them with these hands because they don't have, like, a great arsenal. I think that makes sense. Yeah, Blue Whale and Arsenal I don't think is very compelling. Oh, this is a pretty good hand. So I don't think there's any way we can really safely... So I guess they're only going to get 1 rune chant out of this, but they are going to go back up to 3 rune chants by the start of their next turn. I don't think we're really incentivized to try to block this, right? Because we can just kind of rip our Codex of Frailty next turn. We should be able to throw a big game trophy shot. The only thing that's awkward is like the resource breakpoints, which the yellow should help us fix. So I feel like this is actually like kind of a perfect hand to just kind of eat it and then try to send a red fin. Yeah, I think I'm just going to eat this for now. I think there comes a point in the game where the breathing room becomes a lot kind of more constrained against Vynnset. Also a little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Let's go. Well, actually, do I want to go for the trophy shot now? We have a yellow to banish. I guess we have our own gold to tip. So we could go for the... So actually, let me think about this a little bit more than not at all. So what we could do is... So if we trophy shot, we pitch the blue. We are left with 2 floating. 2 floating is awkward because it means that the rest of our hand we have to like discard a card, which I think we don't want, right? So I feel like actually the correct play is to like gold the tip and salvage the tip, and then we just send 11 off the red fin. And we also get the gold generation, which is like decent. Yeah, I think we need to pitch the BGTS here because I don't think it really makes our hand any better. And it's only like +1 damage, right? All right, I promise I'm not looking at Ben in chat for hints here. I think we're on the same line though. Fun. Let me read it. If it does, we pitch a yellow with 11 top pitch BG. Yeah, okay. I think we landed on the same line. I feel like the resource breakpoints are like pretty awkward there. So let me do a work thing. Oh, you're on a 15-second delay. Okay, nice, nice. That guarantees I'm not cheating. All right, let's take a peek at their hand. So we know they arsenaled that blue Deathly Whale. And then they have a Puppetry, a Putrid Stirrings, and a Deathly Delight. So they would be able... So I think we just take the Gogan here, right? I guess Putrid is also, like, mildly annoying, but, like, they don't have the resources necessarily cast that. If we take the Puppetry, it means they can't go as wide, which I think is, like, the move. They could banish the Deathly, then play the Putrid Stirrings, which is +5 damage. Maybe +5 is, like, better than the Gogan, though. The Gogan means they do get to, like, play out... I guess it's, like, pretty similar. So they get to play the Deathly Whale from Arsenal. Just 4. I'm trying to think of this actually. So I guess this is like literally the same, right? Because this is 4 + 1. This is 5. So I don't think it matters. I think we're just taking the Shadow Puppetry because that's what my heart is telling me. But isn't that like exactly the same math? Because they have the blue Arsenal. I guess we can Arsenal the Sunken Treasure here because we have the Trench, which is pretty cool. But I think that's like literally the exact same math unless I'm missing something. I guess the other way... Wait, does the other way mean that they don't get to keep an Arsenal? I guess we, like, don't care about their Arsenal. Huh. I don't know. Maybe the correct play was actually to let them, but then they get, like, more rune chance in the back. I have to, like, think about that play more. Let's go ahead and trench away that Trench of Sunken Treasure being lore accurate and sinking a Sunken Treasure, which is crazy. Yeah, I think we're gonna skip the rune chant here. And then we know they don't have like a call or anything as follow-up here. So I think I like just trying to send the King Kraken. We also do have our new Harpoon, but I don't think we're gonna get... I don't think this is like the matchup necessarily for it, unless we get like see it really early. Yeah, I think we're just taking 10 to the dome here. So I think maybe the better play was to let them play out the Deathly Whale. I don't know. Feels weird though. All right, let's go fishing a little bit. So we do have 3 gold, which we could crack for a little additional value here. But the real returns that we would see is if we crack all 3 gold, because that means we're like effectively drawing another card. I think I'm supposed to temper it a little bit, since I think Kraken for 12 should probably be good enough here. Or at least annoying enough. They currently don't have any banish set up, so like I could see this being pretty okay. Let's take a peek at the hand. All attacks. So at least their hand's like kind of bad, right? They don't have any way to like creepers and get value. We don't have an arsenal, so they're like widespread destruction's not very good. Can they banish anything with the recesses? Not really, right? So I think we're actually kind of chilling here. Oh, and then we get this hand. Very good. All right, so I think... Well, now they also don't have the rune chance set up, right? So I think we're just, like, good to take this damage. Yo, how's it going? I think we're about to blow up a Vynnset pretty good here. Oh, yo. Okay, that makes more sense. Sorry if I mispronounced that wrong. Okay, we get back-to-back King Sharks, which is fantastic here. Do I want to risk the hook? Probably not, since we do want to block like a flail activation potentially. They can run like haunting renditions. We haven't seen any of their D reacts yet, like any reduces, so it's like a semi decent chance they're able to block this, and then I would be sad. I think that's a greedy hook, Ben. I think this is getting covered, like almost certainly. No, but I want to keep the king shark, right? I think it makes sense to hold on to king shark. Surely, one of the better cards in our deck. I guess actually that's fair. Well, they do have the widespread, right? Okay, maybe I'm actually supposed to discard it, but then we can like just use it for AB. Um, Vynnset can have a gold. I think that's fine. I think it's like kind of reasonable to hook there if they didn't have the fridge, right? So we have an unknown hand from our Vynnset player here. So we do have the ability to actually just throw the fridge in front of this, which I think is going to be the plan. The only thing I'm scared of is potentially... I guess they lost the creepers, so I guess there's not really much to be scared of here. I think this is a good opportunity to just catch in the armor. Alright, let's go for the widespread. Pummel! Okay, we're cooked. Unlucky. Unlucky pummel RNG. Terrifying. Did I see a pummel before? No. Okay, we just got outgamed. That's fair. Alright, let's go ahead and discard the Sunken Treasure. And then we are taking damage, so the arsenal also gets blown up. That's unfortunate. We do have 2 3-Oaks left in our deck. I'm not like a super big fan of just arsenaling the bluefin here. Trench to save the shark. Oh, I guess like save it in the deck, that's fair. Although I don't know if we're like actually gonna get to the point where that matters. That's fair. I kind of want to just send a little bit of damage here. This is probably worth it. We have a gold pile to sit on, we might as well use it, right? Because I don't necessarily know if I want to send bluefin, right? I want to send something else. They don't currently have a rune chance, so we could consider goldfin harpooning, or like throwing the hook on this, but I think that's maybe even a little bit greedy. We might not get many more opportunities to hook, though. Okay, but they did have the react, though, so they could have covered that. Oh, double react, okay. Sure. I am very okay with this. There are a lot of new changes for the list, actually. We have a brand new card to play with in the form of the Red Lure Harpoon. Which I think we have not yet played, but I think the card is going to be really cool in a lot of matchups. All right, let's go ahead and take aim. Get to send a nice, clean 13 here. And this one I will hook, just for you, Ben. Hook in this one for sure. They do have a Deathly Whale, which we're like a little bit concerned about, but we could just like completely ruin their hand here, which is likely. Oh, you know what I should have actually done, Ben? I probably should have actually made a goldfin just so we can tuck it with the trench. I need to get a little bit better at doing that, but I'm gonna sit through my mistakes because I think it is valuable to at least catch myself doing. I think it's probably worth the 1 gold to like prevent 1 AB, right? A nice little trick you can do against Vynnset. Okay, we got a Malefic, a Deadwood Dirge, and a Widespread Destruction. There you have a Deathly Whale. So the question I have is, are they going to actually be able to... Do they want to play out the Widespread Destruction? They don't have the Creepers anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't think which of these we actually care about more. I think it's probably the widespread because we want them to play out the card that's harder to cast, right? Yeah, the 2 Rune Gate I think makes a fair bit more sense there. We are in a little bit of trouble because of that pummel, though. But we do get to potentially reset the rune chance here. So let me think if there's a reason that we would want to. So we take 2 rune chance, we go to 3. We still have to give them. So there is a greedy line here that I'm kind of considering, right? Where we block 3, we take 1, and we also block with trench, and we just go to 1. Okay, we think we're blocking down here. I'm a little bit concerned that they have that. What is the other card in hand? I'm forgetting it. It's they played the Malefic. Don't they have a Deadwood Dirge or something? I'm like a little bit concerned that they're going to like chain stuff back to back, but I think without creepers it's like a little more difficult. But yeah, I don't think the blockout's too bad here. We could also threaten lethal with the take aim plus Goldfin. So we could threaten 5 here if we wanted to, which would take a card out of hand. But I don't know if that's actually doing us any real favors. It means they give us like a 3 block, they go to 3, and then they get to keep a 4 card hand, which is like similar. Just another Marlynn Monday. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go for a little bit more aggressive line because this could put a little bit more pressure on them. And then I think we're going to take like a similar line of being like a little bit passive next turn and just kind of like blocking out still. I'm concerned about the second pummel though. The second pummel is definitely a little bit scary. Hello, Ranger2308. How are you doing? Do something real quick. Second chat. All right, we did at least get a card out of them, which is what I wanted. And then we have 5 life to work with and a 3 oak potentially on the back. This is looking. Oh my god, are they gonna double putrid me? Disgusting. Oh boy, we might be dead. All right, world's first loss to a Vynnset. It happened. I guess are we dead though? I think we're dead, right? Wait, that was a double putrid. I'm not missing anything. I believe that was double putrid. Am I missing something? Or was that a single putrid? Okay, maybe they wait. I don't think they have the resource to double putrid me. Okay, so, sorry. I thought I saw like 2 putrids on. Oh, sorry. I have to redo this. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay, sorry. I'm punting. All right, I think we're actually potentially fine here. Sorry, I can't do math. It's been a long day. All right, let me pop my quiver first so we make this a little bit easier on ourselves. All right, so 1, 1, 0 here. So this puts us to 2. We make a Dolphin Harpoon in Arsenal, which lets us AB a little bit next turn. Okay, we're alive. Sorry, I for some reason thought we were getting like double putrided there, but I don't think that's actually possible from them. That pummel was rough though. Very spicy pummel. Okay, widespread we can deal with. Oh, they really need to be able to do here is like chain multiple good things back to back. Oh, they're going for it. All right, so we got 8 rune chance. We can, I think we can go exactly to 1 here, right? So we AB 1, AB, or no, are we dead? No, we're not dead, right? We go exactly to 1. I think that's a good next hand, right? And we take 1 here, block, block. I think we're fine. Let's make another Goldfin just in case. But unless they have like something crazy here, I think we're actually like winning, right? Oh, they had to banish the pummel. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so we trench this. A1. Block, block. Are we gonna try to kill them with a goldfin, I guess is the question. I guess there's no downside when we have trench, right? We might as well always make a goldfin beforehand. I think they got greedy. Like the one turn where they like made the extra rune chant. Like I think we actually win this, right? Unless they have some way to block. There wasn't a reason to trench the last turn, right? Because he had one floating anyways. Did I? Did I miss something last turn? I thought I had exact ability to pay for it. Yeah, the Goldfin Arsenal was clutch there. That was a pretty cool game. Like I think we were kind of losing that one after the pummel, but then the trench trick kind of did the trick, right? Yeah, I think we did it right? Because we had two blues in hand, right? So they were sending 8 rune chants. We had 2 blues in hand. We pay 6. Then we use our trench to get the extra 1. We're at 2 life, and then we go to 1. Oh, sorry. Was I playing against you? How to typo? That was a very good game, though. The pummels were very spicy. Are you on all 3 of the pummels? You are on all 3 of the pummels. Very, very cool. All right. Give me like 1 second. I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break, and I'll be right back. That was a pretty sick game. Give me like just 1 second. All right, sorry, chat. We're back. We're back. Sorry, quick break. Okay, let's get another one. These have been some pretty good ones, though. The deck has been feeling pretty all right. Vayne running pummel, it's always why I bring through a caution in that matchup. I think that's actually fair. Yeah, Trench is really big in that matchup. Okay, so this is actually one of the matchups where the Red Lure Harpoon is going to do probably the most amount of work. So let's go first into Arakni, and then we'll bring in the Quiver, want our Dominion as well. And I think this is what I was kind of theorizing, like a 65 kind of like this. Betsy also bringing like some extra blues being reasonable. But I think let's run it like this, and let's see how the Red Lures actually kind of perform in this matchup, because this is like the one that I think I theorized was like the one of the more impactful matchups. I really like playing this matchup. I think it's actually very close because I can usually save a hand with the React plus Fridge, and it gets a big leap from it. Oh, a lead from it. Yeah, that's fair. So Battering Bolts is kind of whatever into Huntsman, but it does give us at least a good Codex target. So I'm like mildly tempted to just crack gold and send here. Another option is we just arsenal it and pass, and then we get to keep out of the gold, and we like it's kind of like a fatigue value consideration here, whether or not we want to crack the gold. I think I'm like not supposed to get greedy though. If it was like overpower, like a King Shark, I think I'd be a little bit more tempted, but I think I'm gonna play it a little slow here. Because I just want to like guarantee that I'm like chaining Arsenal. Like having an arsenal and then also keeping the gold around to like preserve a future turn. Why did Vynnset pay a life to force a rune chant through? It's like pros and cons, right? Like you get the guaranteed trigger on your like rune gate card. I don't know if there's like an exact situation which you're maybe referring to, but I think a lot of times it's like pretty reasonable for Vin to do that, right? Tasha, I need you to not manifest that, okay? I want to try out the new card. Okay, Nerve Scalpel as well. I'm kind of glad I didn't attack into them because I think they would have gotten just like Fiddler Screen value there. Doesn't seem very exciting to me. Alright, sack the Shifty. Sure. They sunk the top card, okay. Now the question is, do I want to just throw Caution and YOLO the blue? Do we want to block 2? I think I'm going to YOLO because it's like pretty likely we're going to hit the blue off the top. And on board we're just blocking 2, which isn't very exciting. I think I'd rather just take like the higher value line potentially. Most likely the sack the Shifty is still going to hit, but I just want it to maybe get a little bit more value, and I'm immediately punished for my greed and hubris. That's okay though. I guess we could have taken the safer line there and just accepted the 2, but that's so boring. I guess it maybe was the correct play though. Never lucky. I think on average we're probably supposed to hit there, right? Supposed to be at least yellow or better. Still in a pretty good spot here though. At least they didn't have any like meaningful disruption, which I think is always like the scariest thing in this matchup. Alright, so now we're gonna be hoping that they don't YOLO Codex off the top would be the worst case scenario. Because with Hunter Hunted, they can notably banish our Codex from hand, which is also pretty rough. Alright. I'm allowing them to banish the Redlord Harpoon if they want to, but they absolutely are not allowed to banish our Codex here. I think that would be way worse for us. Yeah, I wonder. Actually, I'm kind of like talking myself into maybe blocking 2 that turn was correct. Because, like, if we don't hit the throw caution, it's like pretty rough. I don't know. Always those like little points of value you like kind of miss in the late game, right? Oh, they are gonna go for the hunter or hunted. Okay. That's actually, as long as they don't hit something crazy off the top here, I think this is actually fine for us. Again, the crazy hits are so like the 2. Okay, so there are a couple really bad hits. Like 3 Oak, I think, is a really bad hit in the early game. Codex would be terrible regardless of the game state, but especially terrible right now. And then King Shark is also like really, really bad. If you're not hitting one of those 3, I think you're actually in like kind of fine shape. So let's see what we got. What are they looking for? Yellowfin Harpoon. Okay, we're golden, chat. That's not great. I mean, it's a early hunter hunted, but that's survivable, right? And we get basically like a full turn of tempo here, which is kind of nice. So not too bad. Again, as long as they're not hitting like the really huge hits in the deck, like that's like the most concerning thing in my brain. Yellowfin Harpoon, we will try our best to do without. Okay, this is an interesting one. I'm kind of thinking we're just going to use this port side here since it's pretty early in the game. There is like a notable downside to using port side depending on the game state because you're losing like a functional card in deck, right? But I think it makes sense here because if we like rip the buff off the top, it's like real solid. The other thing to be concerned about is like losing um like if they ripple away us, it's like pretty bad. But I think I'm just gonna try to dump hand so we can get some early gold to kind of convert here. Also, I forgot actually we do not have a gold to trigger. Does that change our play? We could banish just sack the shifty, but I actually kind of want to keep that around for the red lore. So is there an effective way to use this hand? I guess we're like always having to discard, right? There's no real great way around it. We're never going to be making a golden scenario. If they had like the Graven gloves in banish, that would have actually been a lot nicer. But I think let's go ahead and maybe just, or no, sorry, actually, hold on. We want to discard, I think, the throw caution here, right? Probably. Let's go ahead and try it like this. Unfortunately, one of those scenarios where the gold, I guess we could have turned over the thing in their graveyard, but like I think I actually want them to have that, right? Because it's going to be coming in for 3. I don't know, it feels weird. I guess the one upside of that one turn where we throw caution instead of like Redfin Harpoon was that we get like a Redfin Harpoon in our graveyard, which is pretty big. It's like Battering Bolt's kind of not the best Harpoon we want to be sending, right? Like fairly mid. Right, sack the Shifty, slay the Scholars. So what they want to do next turn is try to use Go again on the black techs. We know they don't have any reacts in hand either, which is a big plus. So I think what they're going to try to do is just try to do like double contract convert, which we're going to try to stop with the gold baited hook here. Seems all right. I think that I try to like prevent them from like converting their hand super well is like the big thing I try to look out for. And like this also does stop a bit of the silver generation, so you have to like take another turn to set that up, and then in that case we're kind of getting some value that way, right? But yeah, I like this block here because it means that we're denying them the ability to like use their equipment and cash it in. Because we know like face up what their arsenal and also their hands here. Alright, so let's go for a nice little 11 here. So I'm imagining the red lures are going to be a little bit more practical in the late game, which is like kind of tracks for this matchup. We'll look out for the opportunities to try to use them, though. It's a bit of a tricky card to use. So let me make sure I'm like not missing anything like that. Okay. Just checking. Alright, hoping that they have at least one blue we can kind of snag here, whether that's just to block in front of it or something. Hunter Hunt it would be like the ideal scenario, but I guess if they were to do that, they'd probably just like pitch the other 2 cards and but we are starting to kind of even out the deck totals a little bit here. I think they need to wait a second before discarding that shelter. Or they want to like actively play it in the reaction. Probably. We do also know that their other card in hand is the attack action. So I guess we're going to be kind of like priced into blocking again this turn potentially. Is there a reason to not use Harpoon when you make a gold? What do you mean by that? What cards did I take out for the new Harpoon? So I took out mostly like the filler blue slot. Like, if you go back to maybe one of my previous lists, I think I was just running like some filler blues. I think this one was like the one I was testing. I was running like Frail Swing Line, which could have been basically anything, right? I think Throw Caution is also pretty filler. Tip the Barkeep is pretty filler, but I think Tip the Barkeep actually gets like a little bit better now, especially. Is there a reason to not use Harpoon when you make oh, you mean like the hook? So I think with the hook, what I want to be careful about in this matchup is like ripple away. So I'm like not making a Goldfin Harpoon just to like discard it. Like I don't want to like just kind of throw away my hook is kind of the idea. I want to be like real careful about hook usage, especially in this matchup. It's like one of the things that can go wrong kind of the quickest. All right, so this is the one that cares about cards with base Gogan. So I think that so they have another 0 for 4 in hand. I don't think there's any real profitable way to like deny the kind of like Gogan here. So I think I'm just gonna let them have this. So if they want to pop the Master Perdition plus the Black Text, I think that's like most likely to play, and then they're gonna play like another one of these, I think, or it was like some other 0 for 4 that we don't really care about, right? I think it might have been exactly another one of these, if I'm not mistaken. But no real like profitable way to block this. I think we're just gonna have this. So they do get to push 8 damage on us and get like 3 cards banished, which is pretty good. But it does mean that like they have to like buy back their equipment. They might not hit any good things. Oh, they're not even going to use their black text here. That's interesting. I feel like the correct choice there was to maybe use the black text, but not sure. Not a Huntsman player, notably. All right, but we're still ahead, at least on tempo, for whatever that's worth in the matchup. Okay, now what do we want to do with this hand? So I think since we have the blue in the form of Catch of the Day, it's like pretty unlikely that we're going to break off the top here if we port side. I do like to be a little bit careful about using port side in this matchup, but because it is turn 4, I think I'm trying to prioritize tempo over deck value, at least for now. But this is technically like an anti-deck value play, if that makes sense. So now we have the option between sending the shallow water with the Catch of the Day pump on it, which I don't think we want to do. I think we're just going to end up sending 9 here. And then I'm going to hold back this Redfin Harpoon, which will also let us quiver and is also just like good in its own right. We still have a couple 3-oaks in the deck as well, so like we're kind of doing fine for now, I think. Still have a lot of like D-Reacts we potentially have to work through, but we know that their arsenal isn't a D-React here, which is good knowledge to have. But yeah, I really like to be very cautious about Hook in this matchup because like losing it, especially like this early, is very like painful, right? You just want to make sure you're like getting the value out of it. I'd say we're in a pretty good spot right now. So if they give us like 2 cards plus a D-React here, I'm like pretty happy with that. We'll see what they end up doing here though. Okay, Ripple Away. Good, so we played around that. Yeah, I think I like not sending the Catch of the Day on this because like keeping a blue lets us play around Hunter or Hunted, and then we also just get a nice arsenal for next turn, so we don't have to worry about like cracking gold or whatever. Oh hey, Top Bat King, how's it going? How's the Red Lure Harpoon been treating you? Well, it is pitch 3 and is also block 3, so take that for what you will. But I think that's like not, that doesn't necessarily mean it's like a bad card, right? It just means that it's like we haven't found like the correct time to use it yet, which I think is like a very tricky card to find the spot to kind of get the value out of it, right? But I'm sure it will come up eventually, right? This hand's very good if we do get to keep it here. In fact, I feel like there's very little disruption that we'd actually care about on this hand. So we're just gonna say no blocks and have them send us the bill. Because I think this hand even is like resilient to a CNC, as weird as that is. Excessive blood loss we especially do not care about normally. They could leave a red on top of the deck, which it looks like they might be trying to go for here. But I think that we are just going to have this here. So they did use their silver pile, which is also like pretty nice. All right, show me the top of my deck. I'm sure it's a red. Let's see. All right, we got a Battery Bolt and a Kraken, which is pretty bad in terms of deck value, but we at least get to send this kind of crazy hand, which is nice. Hand is very, very good here. Oh, actually, we could do some nasty things on this hand. I don't know. Are y'all seeing the line chat? So for reference, our arsenal is this nice juicy redfin harpoon. And I want to draw your attention to a card that says Blade Break 2. And I think if we combo these two cards together, we can potentially get some really good value here. What do we think, chat? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Very juicy. Oh, let me also get a refresh in here. Ace. The sea lace value here is actually kind of nuts, if you see it. This is kind of like the optimal use case for sea lace, right? You get to keep a 5-card hand with 3 oak, and then you just kind of like get to go to town. Like the best combos are with like the disruptive harpoons in arsenal, and then also following up with like one of the ones that just cares about activating a cannon, right? Not like you know, like just like another unoverpowered harpoon. Yeah, the sea lace text here is crazy. I'm gonna hit them with a refresh, just in case. The rare sea lace flip? I know. It's crazy. I can't actually remember the last time I've activated sea lace. But I think we like explode them here, right? Because we have Tunic up, we get to go up. Hopefully draw blue. I guess they did just banish reds off the top of our deck. Notably, we could claim victory, but I think I want to like play this turn. So we're gonna give them a little bit more time in case they reconnect. Oh, did they reconnect? Maybe? Or did refreshing reset the claim victory? Oh no. Alright, we're gonna wait until the next claim victory shows up then. But this hand is like actually kind of insane. I guess this is like a hand we could have done on the previous variant of the deck, but like I feel like this kind of hand gets a lot better once we have the new harpoon, right? Like it just gives us a lot more potential from their graveyard. Alright. I'm really hoping they come back so that I can blow them up here. I don't know if they're coming back though, chat. Very sad. So okay, we're gonna actually like look at the top of our deck here once we can finally claim victory here. 3 oak into at least 2 reds if they don't banish those. Yeah, that's true. Oh, how to typo. So here's the line, right? So we do gold the tip, and then we pull Tunic and 3 oak. And then we hope to draw at least 2 blue, hopefully like 3 blues off the top would be like the ideal scenario, but I think we could get by with like 2 blues and a yellow. And then we start going to town cracking gold, and then hopefully get to send Redfin Harpoon, and then hopefully get to load the Shallow Water Shark to go after the Redfin Harpoon. So that we're basically looking at 8 base damage off the Redfin, plus an additional 6 here, plus an additional 5. So that is 19 damage with like 2 disruptive on hits, which is pretty sick. But yeah, let's actually go ahead. All right, I know what I concede, but I think I've like refreshed the page and maybe something up here. All right, so we'll go ahead and concede, even though we probably would have actually won that game, which is kind of crazy. But let's go ahead and see what we're drawing off the top. So the top of our deck was not particularly kind, notably. So if we do go for that line, we do get to try to send the Redfin here, but I don't know, because we're drawing like the red here, I think that actually bricks our hand. It's a little unfortunate. I think in like most case scenarios, we should be able to send Redfin plus the Shallow Water there, but I think because we drew that red there, and we would have also had a red on the top, I think that actually probably means we can't do that. It's just a little unfortunate, but we're still sending like 14 and keeping an arsenal, so I don't think we can be like that upset about it, right? But pretty good turn. I think we probably would have maybe won that, but let's go ahead and give another shot. Also, I'd like to me out. But yeah, I think that's like one of the cool lines of like having go again, or like using tip the barkeep like lets you do. Tip the barkeep stocks I think have gone up quite a bit since the new harpoon was printed, right? I promise we'll try to resolve a red harpoon by the end of the stream. It is like surprisingly challenging though. All right, we got Victor. This is a good matchup to practice. Do we want to go first or second? Let me consult the board. I don't actually. Oh, did I not actually put this on the board? Oh, it puts it at the top. Okay, let's go second. And then bring in the Honing Hood, and then let's do our take games and then our mutinies. No Ataya. Then we can maybe trim on. I want to like actually play with this card today, so I don't really want to trim it, but I think it might be correct to trim it. Let's maybe trim like one Tip the Barkeep here. You can also run like a little bit over. I think that's reasonable. Run like 64. Yeah, let's try like this. Oh, also let's try to bring in our base. Gotta remember the base of the mountain. Okay. So we do have it here with the Tip the Barkeeps and the Red Lure Harpoons. But the question is whether or not it's even really good. I think it's just better to load the bluefin here, almost certainly, right? Which is a shame. We could also YOLO it, but they also don't have any reds, so it's like extra bad. Not very exciting. Alright, let's go. Oh shit, hold on. Sorry. I need to go back. One more time, sorry. Honing Hood, load this. Sorry, I did get to see my hand here, but I don't think that actually changes the play all that much. Alright, let's take a gander. Alright, so we're drawing Catch of the Day, Trophy Shot, and Tip the Barkeep. So, could just go for the Catch of the Day, but the only issue is that does leave the Trophy Shot behind, which is a little awkward. The Trophy Shot here is just kind of like awkward in general. What we could also do is just use the Trophy Shot to send an additional +2, which is reasonable, but that means we're not keeping Arsenal, which they can block out. I think since it's early in the game, I think we're like okay if we get Test of Iron Gripped. It's like bad, obviously, but I think trying to keep an Arsenal here is sensible. It's not really like a great way to use this without just kind of like discarding a random card off the top. Maybe we should have just played it. I don't know. It's like pretty close between. Okay, we got a trounce, sure. Oh, we win the trounce. Or we don't lose the trounce, which is also pretty good. Not too shabby. Alright, so I'm hoping no CNC here, no spinal. Need something a little juicy here. Current hand, not Spark Joy. No, it doesn't. Hand is just like kind of bad. What is the play on this hand? I feel like the only play that I see is like send unoverpowered King Shark and like discard the Cheating Scoundrel, which feels pretty bad. Yeah, this is kind of an unfortunate one. Not thrilling, but maybe we'll just get them to like lose a counter on their makers and then we're fine. Okay, not the end of the world. Yeah, this is a pretty tragic 0 gold hand. I wonder if there's like maybe some like the trophy shot early games are like pretty awkward. It's the one big downside here, but I guess like the upside is we do get to send like a King Shark here. They do still kind of have to block 10, right? Ish. I don't like the stream just now. Also, are we going to quiver this? Or are we going to take the YOLO on it? So the quiver would preserve the codex in the deck, while also... Wait, do they have like a Diriact here? I think I'm supposed to quiver this, right? Because we're trying to go like a little bit longer than they are. I think that seems sensible. Okay, we would have lost, so I guess that is like kind of value there. We do also get to make a gold here, which is like really good for us. Like, oh, we made. Wait, what? That has to be like so wrong. Wait, did they not think it was overpower, or they think it was overpower? Okay, well, regardless, we're like kind of winning now. um, crazy. Sure. Okay, I'll take a free W. Not free W. I mean, this is still like a pretty challenging matchup, but like that is prohibitively good for us. I do want to try to keep at least one gold around here, by the way. I think going off an arsenal is like pretty good into Victor generally. So I think I like just trying to send 10 here with the blue fin. Try to catch him on a hand that has like multiple blues that they can't deal with. Like, yeah, like we're super far ahead because they let that hit and they also discarded, which is like crazy. Maybe they thought we like overpowered. That's like the only explanation. Alright, we do get the overcrowded, fantastic. Actually we knew about the E-strike off the top. I wonder if it was better to like go for reds instead, although I guess the outcome is like largely the same. Potentially interesting. Right, not a too bad of a hand here. Want to be a little bit careful about the murderous rebel here. I think we're most likely just going to be pitching that. So I do want to conserve life total against Victor as much as possible here. Maybe be blocking with the murderous rabble just to get like a little bit of extra value, which I think like kind of makes sense. My only concern is like, are we going to be able to keep an arsenal most of the time? And it does stress the tunic counter, which is like also a little bit awkward. I'm gonna hold on the rabble just so we have like the extra 2 floating, because the extra 2 floating like can be pretty relevant, right? Yeah, I think let's go for it here. Let's just try to make sure we're getting like the most value out of our cards here. Oh, we did have the red lure. Wait, actually, hold on. Pause. Is the red lure harpoon better here? They do have an E-strike, notably. Alright, world's first red lure harpoon on stream. I think we're... This is like still probably wrong. This is like actually wrong, but it's fine because I want to actually play this card. I want to hit their E-strike and I want to put a gold fin in my deck. Like, I'm doing this for the viewers. I'm not doing this because this is the correct play, but it is the funny play, which is also the correct play. All right, please let this hit. I'm begging. It's not hitting. Ain't no way it's hitting with 3 cards blocked. No possible way. Unfortunate. I tried for what it's worth. I'm sure we'll get value some other way. Alright, 5-card victor hand, we're probably getting pummeled to death. Yeah, I'm doing this for the fans. I'm not doing this for the W. Alright, and their first test is also now going to be online, so we want to try to stress this gold if we get the opportunity to. Okay, I don't know if tech plating is necessarily a good or a bad sign. I'm going to lean towards it's a good sign because I'm going to pretend like pummel doesn't exist in the 60-card victor deck. Oh god, it exists. Yep, that's pretty good. They can use it, right? That is the strat here. We could also like take aim is notably pretty bad here. Let's try it. Again, I want them to pummel me. There it is. Sure. They have a second one? No second one. Okay, that's good for us. I still want them to like IP with the pummel is like the worst case scenario, right? Gotta make them use it. Alright, let's go ahead and just start take aim and just take a nice little reset turn here. So let's hope their next turn is not as good as that one. Okay, they're going gold neutral here, which is good. Because they now get to draw another 5-card hand. Ah, how good is a 5-card victor hand, right? Surely not that good, right? E-strike, yeah. Finals, pretty good one. Definitely. Not too shabby. Okay. So I'm gonna take a line that's a little bit different than I think what I would normally do here. Like I think I would maybe normally try to like just murderous rabble to send 3, which I think is like maybe even not correct. But I think because we have the tip the barkeep here, I'm like more incentivized to try to play this out. Try to catch Victor on like an awkward hand here. We also just need to try to find our good cards more than anything. Not give Victor a gold. I think that's probably wise. And we do it for Mutiny as well. Could end up doing some work here. A Cranial Crush. I mean, as long as they don't have Pummel, this is a fake on hit, right? Isn't real and can't hurt me. I guess if they... I guess they would have not pummeled last turn. I feel like I'm safe from this, though. I feel like the vibes are not pummel. Although we are taking a lot of damage here. Hopefully we get to send some damage back. Notably, the Mutiny is actually not going to be doing us much favors here. Still, like, okay. We notably have not seen any of their visit the Goldmane Estate, so this could actually be a very good Kraken for us. And I think I am even going to send the hook on it just because we need to kind of steal back this gold to prevent them from regaining tempo. Yeah, CNC not lining up with the visit is always ideal. So, like, we are, like, 20 points down on life, but if you think about it, we're, like, kind of pretty even here. And we still have, like, you know, 2 more 3-Oaks in the deck, so, like, that's basically another 6 life right there. I think we win this. Surely. Take their visit here or something, and we, like, I don't know, chain together the most insane Marlyn turns back to back. Alright, we got a Pummel and we got a Golden Sun. That's what their arsenal is, I guess. But that's scary. For what it's worth, we did put them off the visit the Goldmane Estate gold. Oh, okay, they're gonna pummel this Golden Sun at me. It's spooky. Notably, our base of the mountain cannot save us from this. So, I believe we are nearly dead. So we could base of the mountain just to get the extra +1 out of it, so we're not like dying, but we're still like kind of dead, right? So they go to this blocks 5 total. We give them Tunic, then we discard a card. Yeah, that's pretty rough. But we could also just like crack gold until we win the game. Yeah, okay. It's still winnable. We go 2. Hopefully. And then we also get to block with our red lure, which is pretty insane. Notably, with Base of the Mountain, we unfortunately cannot block with multiple cards to get around the overpower. This is the one downside here. Alright, let's go ahead and discard a tip, and then we're going to go to town cracking gold until we find our path to victory here. Maybe actually even keeping the red lure there was correct. How many red lures do we have left in the deck? We have like 1 more. Maybe a misplay? Let's just find King Shark Harpoon. I think that's the strat. Okay, there's King Shark Harpoon. Can we do better, though? Do we need to do better? Because we can currently send this for 10. You take the best card out of their hand, and they can still probably send like 7. So we might need to do better than this. Like, we have 2 3-Oaks left in the deck. And we have an assortment of other goodies. I think we need to crack more gold here. Like, this hand is good, but I don't think it's, like, winning the game good. Alright, so now we need to hit blue, blue, and or 3-Oak. There's 3-Oak, okay. Fantastic. Is there any merit to cracking another? I don't think so, right? Alright, let it rip. This is kind of the hand we needed, but maybe didn't deserve. All right, we're gonna need a really good series of hits here. Like, we basically need them to, like, not send any damage, and then we also need to draw 3 oak. Pretty scary. Oh, do we have a mutiny on that hand? Did I miss it? Casually blocking 13 here. Gross. Little unfortunate. Because I think they're going to be able to pitch to the flexors, which is really gross. Unlucky. I feel like they drew a lot of clash cards this game, too. It's like an average amount of clash cards. Unlucky. I guess they did pitch their visit, so they get to send 5 here. Like, pull. So kind of stand by that hook. It obviously feels like a little bit bad in retrospect. Okay. We get to send our red fin here, go to 1. And then we're going to need a really good series of... Well, actually, hold on. Can we do any better than this? No, I don't think we can, right? We could potentially Gold Kiss Rum into, like, something weird. I'm hoping for a big arrow. We've been getting kind of blocked out this game. I feel like we just never had, like, a King Shark really line up super well. And we also got pummeled, like, pretty well both times. Okay, so they win this clash, sure. Alright, so this is, like, basically our last turn of the game. Alright, let's go for I, and I think what we're looking for off I is, like, King Shark do it. Maybe. Am I supposed to keep this hand? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to... Oh, whoops. Oh, that, like, messed up. Oh, it messed up my overlay. I'll fix it in a second. Oh. Nope, messed it up. Okay. I think we're supposed to keep this. Is that weird? Let's keep it. So we hammerhead Rum. We need to draw blue off the top so we can send the King Shark as follow-up. So we need this arrow to hit here. Then we also need, like, this King Shark to do some work. Okay, we won the trounce. Okay, but they won the... Yeah, that's bad. Okay, I don't think it's winnable anymore, because I think... Wait, is that the 7th block card? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they drew, like, 7 block cards in 9 turns, which is pretty... I guess it's, like, expected. We are under 3 oaks, so, like, this gets marginally worse. Yeah. I guess we could still hit a red here. Did they draw a red? I actually missed that. Okay, no reds. Unfortunate. Yeah, nothing quite lining up this game. I guess we can still, like, pressure their hand with this, but, like, even then, it's still not really good enough, right? I don't think there's, like... I guess we can, like... No, we can't even draw the codex anymore, right? Not very exciting. I guess this, like, does mean they have to, like, block 6 on it, but then they just keep a blue and then kill me with the might token, so... I think we're pretty toasted here. Sometimes, like, the victor draws are just, like, even when they don't draw Visit the Golden Estate, are just, like, super brutal. It kind of makes me, like, want to trim down to 60 in this matchup just to deal with, like, this version of Victor, but, like, then there's also, like, the fatigue version of Victor, which you have to, like, board up for. I feel like on average, maybe, like, the Talishar Victor is doing, like, less fatigue and more just, like, value pile kind of stuff. I think I'll probably scoop it up here just because I don't think there's any way we can, like, claw back from this, because I think they're sending 9 next turn, right? Let's play it out, but I'm doubtful. I think we had, like, an opportunity there to claw back the game, but we just needed them to, like, not find the block cards when they did. Okay, Visit is, like... Yeah, there's Spinal. I guess there's like some world where they like brick and we get to draw the nuts. Theoretically possible. I guess we do get to reset with like a little bit of gold here, so if you may like block 2, play out red lure, there's like some minute chance. We believe. I don't know if we do believe. I don't believe. At least they didn't resolve like a really good visit this game, but like kind of need more than that to like beat Victor normally. I guess we're still like we're not out of it, but we're not really in it, right? Hmm. A lot of things would need to go right for us here, and I even think even if things do go right, there's still minimum taking 2 cards out of our hand every turn. Yeah. Sending 9 here. Okay, Macho will kill us. Yeah, that'll do it. Fair enough. I wonder what we did wrong there. I think we just like drew bad into Victor, which is like kind of fair. Give him a good game though. It's always good to like practice against Victor though, because I think this deck is like kind of the deck to beat. I wonder if I need like additional like Ripple tech, but I feel like Ripple doesn't even really help us in that particular matchup, right? Yeah, I think what really ultimately happened there is just like things did not line up at all, which happens, you know. Not every game can be won. All right, let's go ahead and try to get another one while I try to fix the quick second. Let me adjust the screen so that it lines up here. Be careful going full screen mode in Talishar. That was like, I feel like if we hit with like a really good King Shark that game, I think it's like a little bit of a different game. I almost want to try like board down into Victor and not run like the battering bolts. I guess we didn't run the battering bolts, right? We were in like this. Hmm. Maybe also like the take games get cut in the matchup. I'm experimenting with like when the take games are actually good. Like maybe we just want to go up on the blues. That matchup I think is also pretty reasonable. Do you like the throw cautions and the mutinies? That seems okay. Some things to experiment with Victor still for sure. So wait, did we actually even play? We did play out a Red Lord that game, right? But they blocked it out. So that either means it's a really good harpoon or it's also a really bad harpoon. I guess they like respected it though. Probably about as much as the shallow water. Maybe if we send the shallow water, that's like a different game though. Actually, wait. If we do send the shallow water, I think that is a different game, right? Because we'd be sending like the extra 1. That would have been a little bit more impactful. Okay, maybe I accidentally like threw that game for content purposes. Wouldn't be the first time. All right, we got a Huntsman, our Taya, bring in our take games, and then bring in our 2 battering bolts. Looks good. Now we got our Crown Dominion, Quiver. I have this as a second matchup, but I don't know if that's actually correct. I think I value like having the initial starting gold, and they tend to not have a great way to keep tempo. So let's, I think, try it like this. All right, hopefully no Ripple in the opener would be ideal. I think I am just going to send the Redfin Harpoon here. I like this matchup a lot, though. Matchup has started feeling a lot better, and this is definitely one of the matchups where the Red Lure Harpoon can definitely come into play. Unlucky, but fine. Rude. I accept my greed and my hubris, I guess. So we cannot hook here, unfortunately. We do get at least 8 overpower, so like could end up stealing a card from their hand. So much ripple layer now for Victor. It's kind of like Marlyn catches some extra accidental strays from that. Unfortunate. Could have also considered just like passing there, but kind of wanted to take a little bit more of a greedier line. Maybe I got punished for that though. Ooh, this is a pretty good hand. They end up just sending the persuasive. Okay, they're not going to send the persuasive here. But if they don't have like the disruptive hand, this hand is actually kind of insane. See what they got here. I mean, they're pitching the persuasive that we knew about. So presumably they have something better than that. Let's see what they got. Ooh, another persuasive. All right, I'm maybe starting to sense like a CNC or something. Which is fine. I think we can like afford to get CNC'd here. No reason to like give blocks to it. Okay, it's a leave no. So now the question is, do I want to play around cut to the chase? I feel like I'm supposed to just let them have this, even though it does give them a silver. Because if they have cut to the chase and they like completely blow us out, right? If they don't have cut to the chase, they could have like codex into again, which would be scary, but I guess they're going to be able to do that anyways, so I think I'm supposed to like let them have this because it's like likely they maybe have a shred or something here. I think they got us. Still like sending 13 on this hand, which I think is more than reasonable. Okay, yellow, and they get our take game, so they get 1 silver out of this, which is not too bad. I still like this matchup quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. Curious if they're even going to Arsenal here. Because if they don't Arsenal, that's maybe like indicative of a shred. Reckon. Okay. So we have our choice of Arsenal here between the Battering Bolt and the Take Game. I feel like the Battering Bolt is a slightly safer card, and Take Game is better second cycle generally. So I don't mind pitching that here. And let's go ahead and send 13 and get to keep Battering Bolt, hopefully, for our Arsenal next turn. And Battering Bolt is, like, not the best harpoon in the world, but it's still pretty okay. I think I like pitching the Take Game here just because, like, having the arrows, like, we might not have the arrow if we try to Arsenal Take Game next turn and we don't have any gold. So, like, Take Game has a higher chance of bricking there, as weird as that is. If I could snipe a Codex here, I'd be very happy. Well, let's see what they got. Right, coercive tendencies, so attack reaction, cut to the chase, pun. Then they have 1 unknown card in hand, or in arsenal rather. Okay, so this shouldn't be too bad. At least it's not like disruptive, at least that we know about. So be looking pretty okay for us. And they are going to probably be able to convert some pretty nice damage on this hand. I just don't really want to give them a shred target if I can help it. So I'm going to be saving this King Shark for blocking purposes. Assuming that they're going to follow up with something which they're incentivized to do with the coercive anyways. So we'll go ahead and take this. Yeah, we're not really stopping the go again because they have the coercive tendencies here. So we'll see what they got. Okay, Rapple's not too bad. They do get to turn on the Plunder the Poor contract off this. Okay, and they get to gut to well. What does that mean for their arsenal? I don't know if it does mean anything. I'm assuming this is just another like random contract card. Is my guess. Okay, it is ostensibly a random contract card because it's Codex, sure. Arakni Miserable might be hated. I don't think they're that bad. This matchup's fine. It's just like some of the banish RNG can be like a little rough. But overall, I think it's not the worst Marlin matchup in the world. You kind of just have to like pilot it near perfectly, which is always a sign of a great matchup. I think this like kind of worked out for us. At least we like kind of played around it correctly. Send a battering bolt for 9 here. They hunted us. They take our King Shark off the top, and then we never play King Shark for the rest of the game. Such is life, you know. Oh, don't get me wrong. I like playing this matchup, honestly. It's just fun to hate on any of all the fatigue decks. That's also fair. I feel like fatigue has been getting a bit boring lately. It just feels like homogenous, I guess is like the best way to describe it. It's just like all the D reacts in the deck all the time. Every hero. You know what I mean? Which I think is like not like the most oppressive strategy all the time, but you do get sick of it after a while. I think is where like maybe most people are at with it. Unless you're a sicko, in which case you're having a great time. Okay, CNC. So unfortunately, we're probably giving up Tunic here, but it will hopefully put us ahead enough to hopefully start generating some gold. A lot of hopefullys there. Losing Tunic is bad. It is turn 30, notably. But there's not really much of a better option unless we wanted to like block with gold the tip and then also block with like Sea Lace and a card. That seems bad. Kind of just want to send 13 because that's like getting us a gold, which is almost worth the cost of the Tunic, if that makes sense. Also pitched a lot of D-Reacts. So I'm like kind of tempted to just throw the hook on this and just kind of see where it goes. All right, chat. Are we hooking? Are we champions or are we losers? Because I'm kind of feeling like a champion on this hand. I think we say, ain't no way you've got 3 D-Reacts in your hand. What are we thinking, chat? I think we're champions. Yeah, Havoc knows. We're champions, right? We don't play scared. If they break our hook, then we lose anyways, right? I mean, for what it's worth, we're like kind of losing this game if we don't hook, right? Because if they like block it out or like pitch in such a way where like they don't have an action in their hand or like attack action in their hand, then we're kind of like don't have the tempo to like keep up. I think we're champions on this hand, or at least we're hopeful. We need a little bit of good RNG here. I guess they could also like double D-react us. Looking suspect. Oh no, we're not champions. Unfortunate. Well, now we just have to draw really, really good. Oh no. For what it's worth, they did see like a lot of their. I think that the odds on that were actually like kind of in our favor, right? That's what I'm gonna tell myself. Yeah. We're not champions. Unlucky. Am I insane for wanting to just block Sunken Treasure on this? I think it's the play, right? Not champions. So now we're sad, but that's okay. So option one, we have 2 options here. Option 1 is we try to crack gold and send King Kraken for 10. Which is like, okay. Does mean we are sending 10 damage, which is relevant. Option 2 is we just arsenal the trophy shot and then try to go for the big brain play. Burdens back into the deck until lightning kills fatigue. I don't know if we have room for burdens anymore is like the big issue. I think that was like a little bit of a greedy. I don't actually. Was that a greedy hook? I don't think that was a greedy hook. I'm gonna stand by that hook. I think that was actually like the champion's hook. And I'm just debating whether or not I want to risk cracking the gold here. I think I'm actually supposed to just sit on this hand, as weird as that is. Does that make sense? Like, I kind of want to, like, not have the risk of bricking there, and then also have the potential to send a lot more damage on the next turn. I guess it's, like, close. And so this is hopefully just vanilla damage here. Need them to draw, like, the vanilla damage portion of their deck and not the disrupt me every turn portion of their deck. The ideal. They top or bottom. They left the top card there. It'd be concerning. They're maybe looking at like 3 cards banished here. Terrifying. I think they can also order this, right? So they can do the. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because I think it gives it turns on the contract anyway. Is that how that works? Wait, no. Couldn't they have ordered it so that that other one triggered first, and then they banished one more card? Okay, we're still fine with this though. I think I'm also gonna, if I draw blue here, I think I'm also gonna try to arsenal this red lure harpoon. Okay. We're in a bad spot. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but you know, it could be worse. It can always be worse, right? So I'm thinking what we do with this red lure harpoon is we tuck in an arsenal, maybe even save it for quiver, and then we try to go for like red lure, block out a bit, maybe play their CNC back at them or something. It's tempting. I wish we got to play out the other Arakni game because I feel like that one we were doing a lot better. It's okay though. Alright, this harpoon has to hit, surely. Okay, cool. Fantastic. I imagine they don't have a non-attack in hand. Should still be fine. Okay, they have shred in hand, which means we're never incentivized to block into anything. So things could be worse, to be honest. Can always be worse. Keep that in mind. Wait, this hand like cracked? No. This hand. Wait. Oh my god, they're getting greedy with the shred too. That's so wrong. I know about the shred. So what they should do in this position is they should pitch this to dagger, right? I think. If I remember my assassin heuristics correctly, you never arsenal shred. Can we actually make a comeback with this? I think we can. So, okay, chat. All right, we're going to go for the greedy red lure harpoon line. So we red lure harpoon, try to get their CNC, we play the gold to tip the barkeep to try to chain this into a CNC next turn. Do not give them a gold. Then we come in for 8. God, if this like made a gold when it vanished, that would also be like so sick. But I guess it kind of like makes sense that it doesn't, right? Probably the card would be too good. But I think this is like the line that I think gives us the most chance of winning. Because I think we're like currently kind of losing. Like we need this to connect, and then we also need to like hit their CNC. Although, okay, they're blocking with their entire hands. This is not very helpful. Yeah, I think we're gonna try to keep that shred in arsenal for the rest of the game. Is my goal. We might not get to, but I think that's something we can aspire to. Does this hand do it? I think so. We do King Shark into. Well, I don't get to lure, but that's fine. Maybe we do get to lure. Alright, we're just gonna let them have this because we don't want to turn on the shred. Okay, so what is the line here? So it would involve double codexing. Is there a line here? I'm trying to think. Because playing the 2 codexes is actually kind of... Actually, maybe the correct play was to like block. No, I guess blocking is bad, right? Actually, I don't know if there is actually a cute line we can do here. I think the correct line is just get King Shark right, almost certainly. Like, how do we actually get the resources to do everything? Is the big question. I don't think there is a way. At least not the one that I'm obviously seeing. Hey, Mr. Comment, do you have a list anywhere I can try? I'm going to post it here in a second. But yeah, let me go ahead and copy. Chat, any requests between the new version of the list or the old version of the list? So this is like the old version that's running like frail swing lines over the new card. I'm going to go ahead and post the newer version of the list. I'll go ahead and chat real quick. But yeah, this is the newer one that I've been trying out. And I will say that the new harpoon is very interesting in some scenarios, but I've yet to get it like in a really amazing spot despite like running the enablers for it. Alright. Give us some value here, please. Struggling for value. Okay, shelter. Oh, so their hand is like terrible. Okay, sure. This is actually good for us then, right? Their hand is shred and they have a D-react in, or shred and arsenal D-react in hand. Huh. Okay. Rude. But actually fine, right? Sure. We lose all our ponder and frailty and stuff, which is annoying, but we still have the gold, so it's like not the worst thing in the world. I mean, we're kind of doing okay, right? Because if they have an attack in hand, that means they like we get to steal the attack still, and then if they still can't shred, and they're gonna like give us the D-react. So I feel like we're actually like kind of doing okay here. Hmm. Them arsenaling the shred was like probably the single best thing they could have done for us. It's pretty good. All right, they have a codex which they cannot use because they have shred and arsenal. All right, well, if there are any Arakni players in chat, I feel like you all have learned a valuable lesson today in not arsenaling shred. The shred gaming is very funny here. Like that is actually like almost a game losing arsenal. If we were like, I think if we were like a little bit closer, it would have like definitely been game losing. But like, it is real bad to do that. All right, I'm hoping for a better harpoon here, but let's take a look with our nice shiny Eye of Ophidia. 3 oak, eh? Take a little 3 oak action. We need to win on tempo here, is the biggest thing. So we're going to be playing the seafloor salvage, I think. Hoping that they don't ripple us for the 3rd time. That'd be lovely. But yeah, them arsenaling shred was like the single best thing I think they could have ever done for us, right? Like that shred has given us like 10 value at least, I feel like. If not more. How many 3 oaks do we have left? We have 2 3 oaks? Or this is our second one. Oh no, they banished one. Okay, we have no 3 oaks left. That's fine though. How many codexes do we have left? We have 1 codex? Okay. We still got some stuff to work with here. Not doing too bad. There is some consideration to, I guess we can't rum anymore, right? Makes sense. There was like maybe some consideration to like doing some rum play. I don't know if there really was though. Also, I probably should turn over their codex. Yeah, that's okay. I hope we're not getting to the point where they can like remembrance it back. But yeah, that is an important thing to note is to if you have the opportunity to turn over your opponent's card. I think I want the gold for consistency purposes. Color lies. Sorry, reading your name in chat. I think what I'm trying to do is kill them. I'm trying to kill them before they get to fatigue, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to kill them off tempo more than anything. because I think they're gonna like win the ultra fatigue game if we like end up blocking and they get to play their shred out arsenal. So I'm just trying to kill them basically as fast as possible here. Is kind of my idea. They got a fate, sure. But I think the better play there, rather than turning over like my own gold to tip, was to turn over their codex just so they can't buy it back and like get codexes in late game. Probably the smart play. Okay, they have a surgical, coercive, cut to the chase. So we're not blocking surgical next turn, is what that sounds like to me. So let's hope our hand is good enough to the point where they can't really surgical us very well. It looks like they can, because they can take our codex, which is not great. But I want to leave that shred in arsenal is the big thing. And our hand still does technically function. Like, we can, if they take the codex, we can send the red fin. If they take the red fin, then we send codex. So they always take the codex here. And I think this is fine. So they deal 7 to us, take the card out of hand, but we get to fire back with the red fin and just keep that shred there. So we need to kill them before the shred actually matters is the big thing here. I'm also surprised they didn't just use their tunic for the dagger, whatever. Would the new harpoon be better if it was a goatfish effect, or do you like the flexibility the graveyard offers? So, like, what would the goatfish effect be, I guess is the question, right? Like, would it be an unhit? Oh, that's wrong. That's not correct. What? Why would they ever not take the codex here? Okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem great to me, but I will take my punts where I can get them. Yeah, let's go and take a king shark so we can take their card that they want to shred, or the card they want to put the shred on, rather. But like, I guess like, what would the template like? Would the goatfish be taking the card from their hand? In which case, I could see that being like a lot more interesting into like decks with a lot more reds, like Syndra. Like, it would basically be like an upgraded Redfin Harpoon, which feels kind of weird. So I actually kind of like the templating on it. I think they probably did a good job with like figuring out what that effect is supposed to be. They're greeting for their silver. Oh, I see what you're saying with the surgical extraction. Okay, I can see that kind of making sense, right? They want to take the blues. Sure. Okay, that like makes a little bit more sense in my brain, but like they still aren't taking the best card out of my hand, which seems kind of weird. At least the killing them department is kind of going okay. How many D-Reacts do we have left to deal with? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2. We have 1 Fate, 1 Sync, and 1 Fiddler's Green. It's like, okay. This is winnable. So Shallow Water is like slightly awkward here because we don't actually want to give them an arsenal. But I think at this point we can kind of just try to kill them, right? I think that's going to be the strat. But it is funny leaving the shred in arsenal for sure. Now how do we want to do this? Like, if we have like if we drew these in like the other sequence, it actually would have been a lot better because we would be able to use a rum. Make this so much better. But I think this is still like gonna have to be fine. We could crack a little bit of gold, but to get good returns out of this, we'd have to crack all of it, which feels pretty bad as well. There's a line where we go Shallow Water into rum, and like that's kind of like awkward still. I think what we're supposed to do is just take game, send 13 at them. They lose their shred and arsenal, which like they're kind of at the point where they can kind of play it anyway, so it's like maybe not that big a deal. Or sorry, 12. Send 12 at them instead. They've given us a lot of opportunities to actually win this game, which is kind of crazy. But we're still just a little bit too far behind. I think the ripples were like the big thing this game. The ripples were really like well lined up, I think. It was like the ripples, and then also I think what else it really was. think those are like the main big thing, right? Just like not having that gold made our awkward. All right, so we now have the option to. How many redfin harpoons do we have left in our deck? We have one. All right, so here's an interesting play, chat. What we could do is activate Quiver. However, Quiver means that we're losing a card which we need to kill them. You know what I mean, chat? Like, we need to kill them, so we need this Redfin Harpoon in our arsenal. And the Redfin also does really synergize well with the Tip the Barkeep, like the Gold Kiss Rum. So the fatigue play is we want to quiver and like shuffle our deck, right? But the value play is to like try to hold on to the Redfin and assume that they don't hit a Redfin off the top, which it looks like actually is impossible. So as weird as this is, I'm gonna let them have the quiver, and like what else can they even hit here? Use all our codexes, we have like no 3 oaks left. I feel like their pickings are like pretty slim. I'm gonna let them have it, I think. Like, we're losing deck value, but we don't care about deck value. We care about tempo, right? Like, tempo is what's going to win us this game. So we need to do anything that basically just kills them faster, I think is the big thing here. We do get that shred out of Arsenal, which is going to, like, start to be annoying. But I think I like this. Obviously, they get their, like, Graven Glimpse back on the next turn cycle, which is pretty annoying. Not much we can do with that. We gotta work through their silver at some point, right? So what are they gonna get off the Hunter Hunter? Like, what are they trying to do? Because they don't really get a choice, right? They could bottom and try to banish something random. It's interesting. I think this is a good play for what it's worth. I think this is the value line. As annoying as this matchup is, I do still really like this matchup. It feels like there's a lot of like interesting skill testing. Wait, did they bottom a card? Or no, they left the top card here. They sunken treasure. Wait, did they choose not to banish or something? I'm confused. Wait, why are my sunken treasures not banished? Am I missing something? Don't they want to banish the cards? Okay, sure. I mean, if they're not gonna make silver, I will take a third punt as well. Fair enough. Why is there any incentive for them to not want to make silver? I don't understand. They didn't bottom the card. I think I would have seen that, right? They named Sunken Treasure, and then they just like chose not to do it. Huh. Maybe they just like misclicked or something. Seems like a little bit of an odd play. 2 or less base power. Coming down the wire. Yeah, I think it has to be like input error, but I guess they're gonna feel a little bit silly when I block with the Sunken Treasure, right? Do they want me to draw? I guess we have 2 Sunken Treasures in our deck, including that one. Huh. All right, let's banish their Codex this time, just in case they do end up remembering back. They are still trying to win on the old deck value here. Have they banished my Ataya, by the way? I don't think they have, so we might actually want to try to draw it here. I think let's try to crack some gold to kill them. I think this Arakni has lived for far too long. Huh. Let's crack a little bit more gold so we can play the fun card. Okay, so we can try to play the fun card on the back here. They're incentivized to want to block the red fin on the front. Alternatively, we just try to kill. How many hundreds do they have left? It's 2 gone. I don't want to lose this game, actually. I'm kind of like, I feel like playing this card actually might lose us the game. Let's crack one more gold and actually see. So we have 14 damage here potentially, right? Well, we could do like Redfin Harpoon into Red Lure. All right, Chad. I don't think I can unfortunately play the new card here because I want to win this game, right? And I think that playing the new card brings me the furthest away from winning the game. Like I think what I'm supposed to do is like Murderous Rabble here first, right? Think this makes sense? Okay. Trophy shot on top. That means we play the catch of the day instead and we draw the big game trophy shot. Yeah. I think unfortunately we don't get to play the shiny new card. But it still could end up being good here. We just have to like wait to redraw into it. Alright, I'm gonna take the boring line. I know, chat, you can blame me. I think it makes sense though. I think there's also maybe some merit to like making a Goldfin there. I don't know. Feels pretty solid though. Get to time walk them now. Yeah, unfortunately I made the good play, but not the exciting play. Oh, maybe now we can red lure. Okay, maybe we still get to do the exciting play, unless we just like kill them outright. Alright, let's go for the trophy shot. Let's go ahead and discard our Goldfin. Eye of Ophidia is excellent. Wait, can we do everything now? Or no, we need to draw... Oh, we can't tap, though. That's the issue, right? We draw one more card here? No. I don't think we should draw another card here. I think we're happy. I think I'm happy with this. Shallow water is good. So we want that on top. I guess it doesn't matter what order. Did we also not see a tie in this game? Did he get banished randomly? I just missed it. Taya being in the deck is a little concerning. But they still have to give us like 3 cards here minimum, which is still really good. Because it means they're left with 1 card. We get to take the best card out of their graveyard, and then we're chilling. That's a good sign. Oh, they can hunter it? Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually. Did we want them to take the shallow water? I guess it doesn't matter, right? Sure, they can take the shallow water. I think we actually just got Red Lure Harpoon value. Oh no, they're dying! No, fuck. Shit. I wanted to kill them. I wanted to kill them with their own card. That's so upsetting to me. They're gonna die before we can play it. That's so sad. Well, this card did kill a Huntsman, for what that's worth. I'm so disappointed. I wanted to kill them with like an E-Strike or like a C. Did they even have an E-Strike actually? No, they didn't. I wanted to kill them with like a CNC or like a Leave No. Like this is the card that like shines in the matchup, right? But it functionally was just a Yellowfin Harpoon. Oh man, I was so excited. I was thrilled to get to play that card. I feel like I just got like my Christmas presents like thrown in the fireplace. That's unfortunate. What else do we have left in the deck, by the way? We have like another King Shark. We still had a lot of gas there towards the end. Anyways, I'm still really good at the Huntsman matchup. As it turns out, I think this matchup is like actually kind of fine, even through like ripple aways and stuff like that, which are mildly annoying. check what would have been anyways. So like what we would have gotten with so if they had like one more life, right? They go back up to 4. We could have gotten like a CNC. We had the tip the barkeep for the late game, or like we had the gold kiss run, right? So we could have gone like red lure harpoon in like some like what were we drawing off the top, I guess. So that next hand, right? What we could have done is we could have gone king shark load into draw blue off the top. We could have done king shark into CNC, which would have been insane, right? We could have done king shark with a Taya into CNC. Or no, we could have done no. We could have done king shark for catch of the day into play leave no. Yeah, the Hunterman is you know, it's not that hard to beat pseudo, right? Like that matchup's pretty free. You know how it is. But we could have actually done like a 16 value turn with catch of the day king shark into leave no, which is insane, right? So so what were they drawing actually next turn? Hold on. So we look at their hand. They're drawing 2 attack actions. They block with 1. They block here. They block 9 life in total. So the catch of the day doesn't kill, but then the CNC would kill, right? Because we take the better card out of their hand, and then they're left with nothing, right? Oh man, like all right, Ben, we beat the Huntsman, but like it didn't even feel good because we didn't get to like play their card against them, right? That's the unfortunate part. All right, I'm feeling like one more quick game, and then we can maybe take a chill for today.
You gotta get value.
I'm doing my we got the ultimate value, right? Which
That's
is
not the same.
It's not the same.
That's ultimate value would be you get in and then you kill them with their own card.
That's my copium answer.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I won the game with it. That's not the same.
Yeah,
that's not what value is.
We won the game, but we didn't win the game, right?
Yeah, you lost the war.
I lost the war. All right, and thank you all for staying around in chat. For those of you who have stick around for chat for this long, you get a free Wilson picture. Look at him go.
Isn't he gross?
He's so gross. I love him. He's my favorite thing. Hey, buddy. Look at how sad he is.
He is sad.
So sad. Hey, buddy.
You were like, Wilson.
Everyone say hi to Wilson. All right, they're going to go first. Unlucky. Toning Hood. Let's trench. Let's do all the fun stuff. This should at least be a quicker one. Then I think I'm going to bring in the throw cautions over the take games is what I maybe learned from the last match. I don't know. They feel like pretty similar. I will say that this is not like a Vynnset optimized version of the deck, but it should still be fine. Actually, wait, hold on. Actually, since we are on Honing Hood, I think the take game... I'm still going to stick to my guns. I think the take games are better. Yeah, let's do this instead. Everyone loves Wilson. Hey, hi, Wilson. He's still here. Against his will. So, also, let me go back into stream.
Wilson doesn't realize he's mildly famous.
Yeah, Wilson is, like, internet famous, actually.
People know him.
People know of him.
There's people who have never talked to him or seen him in real life that love him. Kind of interesting.
No. What do you do against Gravy with a list like this with no endless, etc.? We try to kill them, is basically the thought process. So just try to go face clear chum when you can and like just try to send it basically. Kind of the strat. Like endless is good, but like good gravies will kind of beat you anyways, so it's like kind of awkward. I don't know. It's definitely weird. He cannot comprehend his fame, it's true.
He cannot comprehend anything.
Wilson basically has like a mini fan club, which is kind of crazy.
Wilson doesn't know anything at all. He's kind of stupid.
Yeah, he's not the brightest guy. He's still a very good cat.
He can't figure out how to play with toys.
Yeah, he struggles with toys. Alright, shallow water on top. Not too bad. Yeah, but the gravy matchup, like, you can just high roll them, and it's doable, but, like, it's still not great. Like, if you want gravy tech, you have to kind of, like, find some space for it.
A ton.
The fact that they're blocking there is also, I think, a really good sign for us. I mean, they could just like give us the fridge theoretically, so I'm not hooking this just yet. But them blocking with the eulogy there, I think, was actually really good for us because it means we might be able to take another attack action out of their hand. Just when against one that had an early Anka plus Sawbones, it was miserable. Yeah, that's like kind of how it goes, right? Question is like, is it worth checking for, you know? That's like, I don't know if it is. Alright, we'll go ahead and take the better Deathly Will, like expose. It might just be looking at a reset turn here, depending on what they have. Okay, Puppetry is going to be on both modes of the Deathly, which seems pretty alright. No real way to stop the Deathly. They did also pay the life for that, right? I'm not imagining that. Or did they pay the life? Did they not pay the life? I guess they can always pay the life on the swing, right? So I guess they don't have to. Hmm. Do we want to try to send a red lord? We have to like send this, right? I think we're gonna take a turn that is going to seem really bad. The correct play here is to just like block. But the fun play is to like not block, and I'm kind of leaning towards the fun play. Although we're probably still not even sending this. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of damage here, especially since we can't stop the rune chance necessarily. I'm just hoping they don't hit big off the top. I feel like the correct play is like actually block this out, but I want to make the content play. I have content brain. Don't tech for Gravy, he doesn't exist. That's like actually kind of true, Rose. Like Gravy is good. Like Gravy is good, but like I don't know if teching for it makes the matchup better. You know, like if you're seeing like a lot of Gravies at like Nats or something, you're probably not playing the right deck if you're playing Marlynn. Okay, we do get to Shallow Water here, which is like doesn't have the on hit obviously, but is still reasonable. I think I'm even gonna go off an Arsenal since we're just like making gold here. I'd rather get like the 3 immediate value since we're sitting on the gold pile. Feels a little awkward, but sending 15, which is still acceptable, I guess. Making some gold, having some fun. Do have to be a little bit careful that Vynnset's not going to chain like a super wide turn at us. Orchard Tide is terrifying. Yeah, that's not good. That could be better, but also could be worse. They could also Grimoire this at the end, right? Also quite bad. I think we just need to King Shark them. Is the main thing here. I'm playing this like a little bit more fast and loose, but I think that's maybe still correct. I think the way we win this one is by like time walking them. Right? Just need to draw blue here mainly. Okay, blue is great. Do we think we could draw multiple blues in a row? I think I'm not gonna be greedy though. There's some merit to just trying to like send the arrow, but like I think that probably 13 is stressful enough for them. Do we want to slap the hook on this? Tempting, but I think probably not, since this is already something they kind of do want to block. Hello, Wilson.
Hit him.
Alright, I'm
Yeah,
getting
hit
him.
him.
Oh, he's so heavy. He's built different. Wilson's back, everyone. The face of an angel. How many of you are here for Wilson? Let's actually see in chat. Who is not here for Marlon but is just here for Wilson? I think there's a decent portion of you. He's such a good buddy. He wants to go though. Everybody loves Wilson. The famous saying. Alright, let's take a peek at that hand. Alright, no attack actions, but we're chilling because they're playing Vynnset. Fantastic. Seems good. So they could hit us with something out of Arsenal here. Oh, we get some... Our Trench of Sunken Treasure has hit another Sunken Treasure. The irony is palpable there. Tasha, you're also here for Wilson. That's reasonable. Oh, they get to blow up their frailties. That is a lot of rune chance. Concerning amount of rune chance. But hopefully we can chain something together pretty well with this hand. I think the play is going to be try to kill them with Goldfin Harpoon or try to draw 3 Oak. One of those two would be really good. The alternate play is what here? We have 3 Oaks in the deck. We have seen how many cards? It's been 4 turns. Assuming we pitch 2 cards a turn, that means, or this is our turn 4, so we've played how many turns? I forget how like the counter actually works. But let's assume we pitch somewhere between 6 to 8 cards. That means that we have roughly 40 cards in the deck. There has to be more, right? Maybe it doesn't. Or no, we put a Sunken Treasure on the bottom, so it's like 7 or 9. I'm estimating. I think we gotta try to draw 3 Oak. Would be ideal. Would also be the content play. We're due for it to be I. True. I feel like the odds of drawing 3 Oak here are not abysmal. But I think regardless, we're still like cracking. Oh my god, we hit it. Disgusting. Actually gross. So now we just need to not punt. Okay, it's not RNG if you call it, okay, chat? This is why I'm the best. No one is quite as good as Flesh. Yeah, exactly, Capamilla, you know. Oh god. That's why I'm the best Marlyn player. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to use the power of Take Game to load a big game trophy shot, and then we're going to try to send 20 damage. Ideally. Give me, like, a King Crack. Oh my god, we're hitting. Disgusting. I don't even think we can brick here. Oh no, we can't brick. We can brick off of a red. But I'm not complaining if we do, because this hand is still bonkers. Okay, we hit. Oh my god. Disgusting. Actually, I think we actually stole this game. Maybe. We're not, like, out of the woods yet, but, like, this is about the best we could have done. Oh my god, 20 damage? I'll take a nice little clean 20 damage harpoon. Don't mind if I do. That's why I make the content. Alright, so they can... Okay, they need a D-React actually to block this. I believe, right? We have 5 armor here. They need a react to stay alive. And then we still maybe just ruin their day. That's a big shot. Let's fucking go. Oh, I stole the shit out of that game. That was like that was completely undeserved. I miss playing Take Game. Just play it. It's good to like 2 of, I think. Like 3 of is a little excessive, but 2 of is like 2 of I think is about right. Also, hello DM Armada. Thanks for stopping by. Loved your spoiler video. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that was insane. Actually, were they on reacts? Oh, this is like pummel Vynnset, like we kind of saw earlier. Oh, they are on the reduces. I guess they were like kind of just not drawing them, which makes sense. Oh, that is heart of the cards. I think we're losing that game if we don't go for that though, right? Like almost certainly. Like they have, if you look at the board, they had how many rune chances is this? This is like the equivalent of 12-ish. 12-ish rune, or yeah, 12-ish rune chance, which we like could block. We're at 20, but then they like take the tempo super hard, and then we're like pretty out of that game. Would you use the take game in current deck or only in the future one for some reason? So I think you can run take game. I'm experimenting with take game, but it's like there are some matchups where you want the blues over the take games, and so I still have like we'll kind of talk about the deck list a little bit here. But I have like the take games as kind of like extra in the sideboard, and you kind of just bring in like whatever you think the best card in the matchup is. So whether that's the extra blue and the throw cautions, or that's the take games kind of in the board there. But take games are like the kind of quintessential high roll card, I guess. Like they make I think the warrior matchup and like a couple other ones where you need to just roll super hot, I think a little bit better. But yeah, those are some. That was some part of the cards. Oh, Scribble Nibble. What are the chances? Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Scribble Nibble. I think or Scrib Nibble. Sorry. I think I stole that game from you. I think you'd like clearly deserve to win that game. That was like completely uncalled for. But anyways, I'm the best Marlin player in the world. You're watching Flesh and Bad. Let's talk about the deck list. So this is kind of just like a kind of like pre-Omens of the Third Age deck list. We're trying out the new Red Lure Harpoon. We didn't really see it get a lot of justice today. I'm going to see if I can try to like compile some gameplay footage where maybe it's a little bit better. But I think there's a lot of potential in this card. We didn't get to see it today, but I think that we had a lot of like really interesting like situations where we could have threatened this card. Like kind of how we saw at the end of the Huntsman game, if our opponent had a little bit more life, we could have actually like used it pretty well. So I think you're going to see a lot more of this card. I think it's like a very solid blue card. And I think that a lot of people are initially down on it. I think that it has like a lot of really cool utility that makes the deck a little bit more interesting to pilot. And I'm always down for like cards that make the deck more interesting from like a player perspective. Like it makes the deck a little bit more fun, which is cool. So I'm excited to try out this card. I think it's going to be, I think it's a lot better than I think it initially looks, is my prediction. But yeah, I think, yeah, like the threat of Red Lure Harpoon is actually like super high because it threatens these really insane turns, so your opponent's like incentivized to want to block it out, which is kind of crazy. But I think this card's really good, especially into like generic piles, Leave No Witnesses, CNC, E-Strike. Like, I don't know if you all saw that. Someone made like a the Red Lure Harpoon situation is crazy. I don't know if you all saw that video, but I think that this card is actually like pretty good. Clickbait aside, I think the card is like actually quite solid. But yeah, we're kind of just tinkering with some things. I think like the big questions in the slot are like the mutinies, the take games, the throat cautions. Like these 7 cards, I think are like kind of on the question mark side for now. Maybe even like Base of the Mountain. I'm not like the biggest fan of Base, but I think it's still like kind of warrants the sideboard. But I think the rest of the deck is like starting to kind of take shape and kind of become something pretty cool with like the Red Lure Harpoon and the Tip the Barkeep kind of synergy as well. But anyways, thank you all for stopping by the stream. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all enjoyed that sick Vynnset high roll at the very end. But yeah, I will go ahead and see y'all on Wednesday. We're going to be playing some Ziggy, which is very exciting. Maybe a little bit too early, but still playing some Ziggy, which people always are a fan. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and say hi to Wilson for me in the chat. All right, see y'all around.